Hi Farah, how you doing? So I'm looking at your post, and I'm really got me thinking. And I want you to go with me on this, okay? I want to ask you to think a little bit differently than you might be used to thinking about typography, because I'm looking at your bad example, and strictly typographically speaking, yes, it's absolutely horrible. The yellow on the red is kind of causing a really strange, unusual visual stress. And the leading and kerning is just so tight and such a jumbled mess that it's almost impossible to read. And then the little I on the side, I agree. So typographically, now here's where I want you to start thinking a little bit differently. Let's think conceptually. What is this piece trying to say? I think that conceptually the message outweighs the fact that this is bad typographies, because what this message is sending is that this is speaking of the elderly. And typically, I know my mom, when she was older, was pretty much a jumbled mess. So I think representing the elderly by this really jumbled typography is conceptually a pretty strong approach. Okay, and then lying the I down on its side is signifying death, of course. It's laying down. That's like if that was a person, that would be laying down dead. So conceptually, I think the piece is really strong. What's your idea on that? Let me know. I mean, you're right about typography being bad. I mean, just looking at a cursory look at typography, yes. But I want you to let me know what you think about this typography after you really consider the message behind it. And then this piece, I want you to think about this piece, because when you read in your typography books over and over again, you're going to get these caveats about center-aligned typography. And the reason center-aligned typography is not good, a lot of beginning typographers love centered typography because it's very settled. It's very safe. That's why we always see it on invitations. The problem with center typography is it just completely negates the negative space. Do you see how the space around here is symmetrical on each side? So there's nothing interesting there. So if you left a line, or here, for example, this is creating this interesting negative space around the words, because why? It's not Molly and Stephen just centered on top of each other. Do you see what I'm saying? So a lot of more advanced typographers are going to tell you to stay away from center-aligned typography, and for the reasons I just gave. Now, I want you to do this for me. Just find me a small typographic composition that is either left or right aligned, and just compare the two. Compare the negative space of the two, and let me know what you think. And tell me if you're understanding this, what I'm talking about here with this activation of negative space and the symmetry of negative space in center-aligned typography. Okay? If I'm making sense, if I'm not making sense, just drop me a quick line. But basically, I want you to compare this to a left-aligned little typographic composition, and tell me what you see as in terms of difference in the presentation of the negative space. Okay? Thanks. Good job. Thank you.